corporations have taken over control of food, and we know the World Bank and the World Trade Organization have forced us into an unsustainable agriculture situation. But now they're going to do this to water. And I want to talk to you today about the fight to stop corporate theft of the world's water. Right now, the water is a good in the WTO, but they also want to make it a service, which means that big corporations like Suez that's coming into Delhi would be there forever because governments wouldn't have the right to undo a mistake like privatizing water. And let me tell you, when these companies like Suez come into communities, they raise the price of water and they do not increase the quality. Usually it's much worse. We also have companies like Coca-Cola down in Pachimata, and in fact all over the world, stealing local people's water. And people are saying absolutely no to the theft of their water. Get water declared as a fundamental human right for every single person on this earth, now and forever. And we're going to target the World Trade Organization. It's got to go. And we're going to target the World Bank. The World Bank is now telling countries all over the world, if you want more aid, you have to privatize water. You have to let big corporations come in and take over control of your water for profit. We're going to say no, we're going to take those institutions down. This is one of the most important fights of our lives. We're living with ecological and human devastation from the growing world water crisis. We have to stop the corporate theft of the world's water. Our water is not for sale. Our world is not for sale.
We are creating unlivable communities for people, and creating deeper and deeper rifts between rich and poor all the time.
Privatisation of water is a huge issue. I mean, there have been examples where privatisation of water has occurred, so water, is owned essentially by private corporations. And the problem is that they might start off by making kind of incremental improvements to the supply of water and the quality of water. And they will definitely run an argument about the conservation benefits of people having to pay for water, that makes us more careful about our use of water, and that's a good conservation objective. But never ends there, because there's always this profit motive involved. And once that profit motive is involved, then you're going to see in the longer term these corporations making huge amounts of money out of that water. And everybody then is at the mercy of the corporations that are making profit out of water.
And of course this is all backed by the World Bank, but there's such fierce resistance, and they are being proven to be what we said they were, which was profiteers.
Con la consigna de el agua es nuestra, carajo, la gente sale a las calles, sale a los caminos y protesta, ¿no?
The price this beleaguered country paid for World Bank loans was the privatization of the state oil industry and its airline, railroad, electric, and phone companies. But the government failed to convince Bolivians that water is a commodity like any other.
To my mind, philosophically, it's totally wrong to say that some people own water and other people don't own water. This is, people talk about water being the building block of life. Therefore, it belongs not only to all human beings, it belongs to the whole of nature. So for us to believe that we can some of us can acquire water and dish it out for a price is out of left field when you look at really what water is. You know, it's an essential, we talk about it in legal terms as an essential human right, but that's just the legal framework that we have developed to try and protect people's access to it. But if you strip away the legal framework that we have developed, water is what everybody needs to survive, and it is what we are composed of. And then what you can have, of course, is the accumulation of the ownership of water in countries, in private corporations, in these large transnationals. And from a legal perspective, just from a legal perspective, these transnational corporations are very difficult to control and regulate. They are very nebulous creatures. They trade on the fact that they are transnational. So how do you find them? How do you pursue legal action, and what courts? And then if you get a judgment in your favor, how do you enforce it against these transnational corporations?
Entonces, ahí sí vimos que el gobierno defendía los intereses de la transnacional Bechtel, porque la gente quería agua, no gases. La gente quería justicia y no balas.
Estas son las imágenes que reflejan definitivamente la situación que vivió Cochabamba durante la jornada de este viernes. Prácticamente estuvo sitiada. Policías del departamento...
Bolivia was determined to defend the corporation's right to charge families living on $2 a day, as much as 1/4 of their income for water. The greater the popular resistance to the water privatization scheme, the more violent became the standoff.
Y por eso hubieron centenares de heridos jóvenes que a sus 16, 17 años perdieron brazos, perdieron piernas, quedaron paralíticos, quedaron lesionados de la cabeza de por vida, y murió Víctor Hugo Daza.
Transnational corporations have a long and dark history of condoning tyrannical governments.
En cierto momento de la lucha, el momento más culminante, el ejército se acuarteló, la policía también no salió de su cuartel, los congresistas desaparecieron, el gobernador se ocultó, se denunció al gobernador, no había autoridad legal. La única autoridad legítima era el pueblo, que estaba en un cabildo, que estaba en la plaza y que tomaba las decisiones en grandes asambleas, y al final decidió sobre el agua. Y creo que la gente, los jóvenes y los viejos de mucho tiempo, pudimos saborear, digamos, pudimos saciarnos de esa sed de democracia.
¡Y así lo hemos conseguido, compañeros!
Hemos heredado una empresa, como toda empresa pública, con problemas técnicos, con problemas financieros, con problemas legales y con problemas administrativos. Nos estamos enfrentando. Porque si demostramos que es la gente sencilla y trabajadora la que puede dar solución a sus problemas, podemos estar a las puertas de pedir de que todo aquello que se privatizó, todo aquello que se vendió, todo aquello que está en manos de las corporaciones, vuelvan a las manos de la población. Y ahí aprendí una lección muy importante, de que uno no puede desconfiar en la capacidad del pueblo. Un eslogan que siempre yo había repetido en las marchas, de que el pueblo unido jamás será vencido. Y ver eso para mí fue muy grandioso.